Join us for our second annual Women's Leadership Summit hosted by Girl Bossed Up. I am Dr. Melissa Simmons, inviting you to unlock your true leadership potential with a day of insights, inspiration, and actionable strategies. Experience empowering talks from our incredible speakers, plus enjoy pre-registration special and get your seat at the table. This is a summit of a community of dynamic women learning, growing, supporting, and empowering each other to our next level. Don't miss out. Register now and elevate your leadership skills. I'll see you there.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the individual speakers, commentators, guests, experts, and or hosts. They do not explicitly or necessarily reflect nor represent the network broadcaster channel and or program's policy or the views held by this network broadcaster channel or program. The network broadcaster channel or program cannot be held accountable for all or any views expressed during this program.
Hello, Fem Talkers. Welcome to our show. It's Fem Talk time, 8:30, Tuesday nights. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are missing one of our great hosts, our Coach Tracy. She's not feeling well. Shout out to Coach Tracy and her family. We love you. We miss you, but we will hold it down while you're gone. But as always, we have our other host, Dr. Melissa Simmons. It's going to be me and her tonight.
Hello. Hello. Oh, feel better, Tracy.
So, Fem Talkers, are you guys ready for some good Ask Fem Talk conversation? We talked to you guys last week on the show, and we asked for questions to be sent to our Fem Talk Gmail account or email account, and you did it. We have questions. We're ready to answer them. We already did our disclaimer, but as an additional note, if you wanted to be notified or give your name or name disclosed, we would. If you ask not, we shall not. So, however your question came across is how we're going to give it to you. So, Dr. Melissa Simmons. You guys know we have to dance for everything that comes on.
Isn't that terrible? Every time the music go on, we just going like this.
Right.
Shimmy. Okay. So, are you going to read the first question?
I can. You want me to pull one just random? Or you want them? Go
ahead. You go.
Can you tell we're just so excited? Go ahead. I'm going to let you go. Go ahead.
Okay. So it says, I have a friend that's in a terrible relationship. Oh, and terrible is like all in caps. She knows she's being treated bad, and he's openly told her he won't change the way he's treating her. Oh, ain't that something? It hurts me to see her treated this way. How can I help her see her worth again? Oh, man. Let me say, been there, done that. I have have a t-shirt on it, right?
A
I think
t-shirt
that
and a shot glass.
and a shot glass talking about it. I think, as a friend, continue to encourage her.
Mhm.
She's caught in the middle of a bad relationship. Um, I will say, who hasn't been? Who hasn't been? I know I have. And it
Right.
was hard for me to see, as the expression goes, the forest for the trees. You're
Mhm.
so in love, you think he's going to change, you think he's going to see you differently, and you hope and you pray and you cry and you plead and you think things are going to change, and then things don't change. So I
Mhm.
think what I always remembered through that process, though, was my friends that surrounded me, that loved me, that would always encourage me, say, Missy, you're better than that. Missy, don't worry about him. Missy, he don't deserve you. And they just kept on telling me, Missy, and they
Right.
encouraged me. And in time, I built up the courage to walk away.
Right.
It took a while, but thank God, there was, no damage, meaning there was no. Sometimes there's I shouldn't say damage. Sometimes things happen, and now you have children in the middle of it and stuff like that. But thank God that was not the case, and I was able to walk away, and I found my beautiful husband, and all is well. So I would just encourage the friend, keep on encouraging. Don't leave her.
Right.
Don't leave her. She needs your help. She needs to know she's loved. And the more you tell her she's loved and just let her know her worth and just encourage her, she'll start growing the courage to finally walk away someday. That's my opinion.
I agree. I agree. And I guess I come from both sides of it, seeing it and being in it. And
Hmm.
we all know anybody who has been in a bad relationship. Now, she specifically says terrible. My mind goes 900 ways when I hear terrible because it could be
Yeah.
very dramatic, it could be physical, it could be mental. Any of it is bad. But
Right.
um being in it, you don't see it all the time. So you don't see how much chaos it is. You don't see how affected you are. And,
Hmm.
because you're too busy trying to fix it or you're too busy trying to handle it or hide it.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
being on the outside, of course, we see it everything because we're not rosy colored. We're not in love with the person. And, we just don't like what we see as the treatment. As her
Yes.
friend, you are going to have to, like Dr. Melissa said, you got to stick by her. Now, I'm probably a little more hard-handed than most of my friends, so I'm gonna say it. It probably not be soft. It might not be sugar coated. And then I'm
Right.
also gonna, because I'm so. If you're my friend, it's gonna come from the heart. It's gonna affect me because your pain is going to feel like my pain. So I want to
Right.
feel it and I want to make it right, but I cannot do either of those things unless you are ready. Unless you are ready to be done with this relationship. And clearly
Yeah.
she's not ready. No matter how terrible, unsafe, detrimental it is, you're not going to be able to get her to see it until she's ready to see it. But
Yeah.
pouring
Yeah.
into her is going to help her stay strengthened, prayed up. You got to listen that this, we are praying group. So you pray for her, you keep loving on her where you can get in there and give her some girl time, some freedom, get her by herself,
Yeah.
where y'all can have a good time, she can alleviate some stress, and then she'll be able to go back replenished and deal with that until she's really ready to be done with it.
I love how
So
you said that, like take her out and
mhm,
stuff. Because a lot of times when you're in toxic relationships, one of the things that people will do is keep them
mhm,
away from family and friends
absolutely.
because they don't want that influence on the person. So I love that
Mhm,
piece that you say, take them, come spend a night with me, come hang out, come that kind of thing does help because they
yeah,
see that. But you know what? So many people, I was reading some stuff about actually a very famous woman who was married to a very, very famous man. And and they finally did divorce. And it wasn't until she started her the relationship she was currently in, that he started courting her, that she realized, I didn't even know a man would do this. Like, she wasn't even aware what a good relationship was. You know what I'm saying? Because we compromise. We think, okay, if I'm going to get this, if I'm going to get fame and fortune, I'm going to stay. And don't even realize that what she's getting really is not a great relationship or a good one at all.
Exactly.
So a lot of times we unfortunately we compromise, or we've lived a life where we don't even know what a good relationship looks like. I come from a divorce, home. So you don't know. You don't always know. Yeah.
And then, as we're thinking about it, I think about an actual situation where a friend and another friend, one friend was in a bad relationship, other friend was told by the significant other, the boyfriend, don't come here anymore.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to come here no more. And I understand, like, in that question, she's being physical. He is being physical with her. You have to be concerned with your safety as the girlfriend, and your girlfriend's safety, your friend's safety. So then you need to find other ways to connect. If that means you send an email or a text. If you have to be, you have to be covert. She is covert. So when he drives out, he got to go to work or he got to go somewhere. He may have cameras, but you sneak over there, you check on her, you look at her face, make sure she's good, whatever you have to do just to let her know you're still there. If she knows she has a lifeline, she's not lost. If she knows she has a lifeline, she can pull on it and get that to a safe space when she is ready or when she feels safe. So
I love that. Like, you don't abandon your friends for a relationship. And I've been told don't, by my friend, the husband said you can't talk to her no more, because again, they see the change, they see the courage building, and they get scared, and here comes, let's stop that nonsense. So stay in touch.
Right.
Yeah.
They fear the growth friend. They fear the empowered friend. They fear the single friend because they think you're going to take her and show her other things and try to get her to cheat or leave or whatever. So people who are that type of oppressive person, they fear all of these other avenues that make
because they're not secure in themselves.
Exactly.
Yes.
And they lose that grip.
Power from abuse. People get power from abuse, so you have to be careful. But I love we don't abandon our girlfriends for that.
Don't let her go.
Don't let her go. Stay. So we got another one. We'll do one more, and then we'll get to think of this one. Good. So this one, when I read this one, I'm like, So this one, it says, I work at a man dominated field, car sales, and I'm trying to figure out how to make my mark and show them I belong in the room. Shima, you want to take this first?
Well, we all know what the good old boys club looks like in any industry. It doesn't matter if it is car sales, retail, education. It doesn't matter. We all know what it looks like. And sadly, teams are built and grown based on gender more times than effort. I'm hoping I said that without a whole lot of judgment. The teams are built, or alliances are built, more often by gender than it is by effort and ability.
Yep.
So that going in, that can be a male dominated world. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and say it's gonna be easy to break that boundary, because it's not, because it's been like that for years. But what I will say is, don't stop being at the top of your game.
Mm-hmm.
Don't stop knowing what you know. Don't stop educating yourself. And then when I say educating yourself, I mean educating yourself to the point where you're getting the nuggets and the that little bit of information that not everybody has. You talk to enough people, you extend yourself enough to other arenas so you could get those few nuggets, so that when you come back to that area, to that team or that team meeting, you have something that everybody else does not have. You have the jump on something, and they want to know how you got it or what you're going to do with it. Does it take a lot of work? It's going to. It's absolutely going to. But it will solidify you as a competitor. It may not make you equal. It may not make you welcome in those rooms, but they can negate this, the fact that you're a woman anytime they want, and that your contribution doesn't matter. But it's the material, it's the facts, it's the whatever I'm assuming that sales is the key here. It's the money you bring in, it's the clients you bring in that's going to matter. So until you can get to the point where they can look you eye to eye and respect you for what you're bringing, just keep bringing it. Just keep bringing it. I almost sadly is similar to what we're telling the other girl. Don't stop. Don't overexert yourself. Don't overkill yourself, but don't stop.
Yeah. I love that. I was going to say, I could show you better than I could tell you.
What?
I could show you better than I could tell you. Let that motivate you,
girl.
Yep. Let that motivate you that you're not part of the Good Old Boys Network. I wasn't either.
That's right.
I sure did show them. and that, to what Shima said, that's where their respect came. I went in those rooms knowing more, doing more. Car sales is you can find your niche, your little niche. E-sales are real. Go online and get those e-sales. Some of them older men can't maneuver that. They don't know about no Instagram and Facebook and especially TikTok and Snapchat. Come on, you can dominate. Find your niche. Find what they can't do, and you do it 10 times better. Because let me tell you, I could show you better than I can tell you. And when you start showing up, you get friends. They all will become your friend, because what Shima said is right. Now money talks. So now you bringing in sales, you making a change. They're not looking at you. You're gonna get some of them on your side. How you do that? Show me that. Right. Now they start smoozing up to you, because all of a sudden you could do something they can't. So you get out there, girl. You show them. You find your little niche, and you take it, honey. You in the room.
I'm gonna give you a little niche, only because Mimi, you just brought it to my attention when you said you go and you talk to some people and you get to the older people. Now, for me, I don't know why, I have an affinity and an affection for seniors.
Yep.
Go to those people who've been in the game a long time, still doing it and still doing it well. And I'm not saying use anybody, but you sit at the knee of.
Find the one that will talk to you. That's right.
Exactly. Let them tell you about their career, their lifetime in that career, because that's what they want to do.
They want to talk. Right.
And then you take what he's giving you, because those are nuggets, and you advance it. You technology it. I know that's not a verb, but you technologically advance it.
That's right. No, I love
it. And make them new. And make them yours, and then go back into that meeting with them.
Yeah, there you go. You just take, you flip the script on them.
Flip the script.
And they want to hit, they want to talk, they want to tell you what they got. And I'm sorry, I think in male dominated situations, you have to know. Look. There's such thing called the art of war. You have to know your strategy. I'm a believer in strategy, so get your strategy going. I think you're in a good place. There's something to be had where you are. And I think this is from Tracy. When you have the correct answers, help improve productivity, and the bottom line, they will pay attention to you and your expertise. Absolutely. That's from Coach Tracy.
That's right. The bottom line talks, because it's money.
That's right. It's money. And they're gonna, if you're able to you're in the room for a reason. One thing you always got to know, what you have is different from what they have. So you have an ability to get into somewhere they can't access. It could be age, it could be, it could be the social media,
Your
it could
gender.
be your
Use your
gender. You can
gender.
probably talk to women better. They come in there and they sit with you because you have a way with them. Use what you have. And trust me, you're gonna see it change. And respect comes because of what you're able to bring to the table. Respect comes because of what you're able to bring to the table. You're sitting at the table now. Now bring something to the table, and they'll change.
That's right.
They'll change.
And the sad part about most people who think like those men, they're overlooking the things that the people, because they're doing it right in your face, they're overlooking a woman who is their competitor or their colleague or even, their teammate. So who's to say they're not overlooking that customer, that client who is also a feminine client?
That's right. They do it all the time.
Doors you can get in, they can't get in. Go into the women empowered conferences. Go to the spa. Talk to the people at the in the places where women gather, where boss women gather, and let those be your clients to build you.
Check.
You have a connection they don't have there. So if you have to create a niche, start there, and then you'll eventually get the other ones. Because then they're going to tell their husbands, and then they're going to tell their co-workers, and start with what you got. Use what you got. We hear that and we get so offended sometimes because use what you got usually means your body and your sexuality, and you can go into places they can't. So do it.
Go ahead. I love it.
Wow.
Yes. So that is our 2 questions from Ask Fem Talk. Hey, if you got a question, put it in the chat. We'll come back to this at the end of the show and answer another question. So you have an opportunity now to do an Ask Fem Talk. So drop it in the chat and let us answer your question.
Absolutely. Right. Well, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about money or money doesn't buy you power. And then we felt like we need a little secondary question to that. And that's money doesn't give you power. So you can't get all this wonderful money and then buy it, but you have all this wonderful money and it still doesn't give you all the power.
Still does not give you the power. I think one of the things that came up when we was talking about power and money, and so many people look for fame, right? And you think fame is going to bring you money. We talked about that last time. And we mentioned it with the whole, I'm still listening to Club Shay with Monique. And that is just continuing to blow me away. I think today they mentioned the show she won her Oscar for, Precious.
Yes.
She got paid $50,000. That's it. That's it. One time, $50,000. And the producers was Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey. There was couple of others, but those were the producers. And she got an Oscar for it. They knew that it was such a well-written script. And the essence of her character was so strong. Mm-hmm. They knew it would probably get an Oscar. That's how good this was. So knowing you had a diamond and knowing that if this woman, Monique, they knew she could pull it off. They went to her. She didn't, right. And she'll tell you she has never auditioned for anything. So they went to her. They knew she could play this role. When she got nominated for the Oscar, they were not surprised. But they paid her $50,000. And you would think, again, we're talking about power and money and she never gained any of these things. But some people get paid a lot of money to do with the things they do. You know what I'm saying? And Yeah, and yeah, they told Nick just put in the community refuses to call out Oprah and Tyler
It's
for
not.
things they have done because they made it. And I think this is part of the money don't buy you power. You know what I'm saying? And because money silence you if because they hold the money over you,
Mm-hmm.
the people with the power, to keep you quiet. You see,
Exactly.
because a lot of the conversation is not happening because it is these two giants in the field. And again, beloved, you know, who hasn't said they don't love Oprah and Tyler Perry? I still love them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They've come down on my notch a bit because I'm not happy about this, because they
Mhm.
should be out there really helping. If you got a movie, put it this way, they're not going to pay a Meryl Streep that kind of money.
Absolutely not. And she's still
Absolutely
not going to audition. She
no.
too will not
So
audition.
if you know, if you got a script and they have a script and it's Meryl Streep, she not coming to the table until you throw a 8 to 9 figure payment to her. But again, offer only, right? Offer only with a check, mean you come with a check. So with Monique, same thing, same ability, because they're actresses.
Mhm.
Let's make that clear. And what money has done is silence them and remove their power.
Absolutely.
Because she did not take the money, she still has the power. Do you see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? She has the power
Right.
over her own life, over her own mouth, over her own tongue, and she has no problem telling it. So it flipped the script, and she knew if she succumbed to what people wanted her to do and say, she would lose her power. So it's
That's right.
almost the opposite. Money will remove power from you, because if you're looking for the
Mhm.
money, they'll give it to you. But there's
Right.
a cost to the money. There's a cost when
Exactly.
people pay you. Listen, when people pay you, you owe them. It's just
That's
like
right.
with your job. You don't have the right to take money from your job and then go out and say anything you want about your job. The moment
Exactly.
you say the wrong thing about your job, guess what your job gonna do? Fire you. Come on
Absolutely.
now. Come
Absolutely.
on now. I can.
Absolutely.
Colin Kaepernick, he was paid by the NFL. Come on.
Right.
He made a point. He made an excellent point. He
Mhm.
sacrificed everything to make the point. He
But
was
that
willing to, and he gave up the money in
absolutely.
order to exert his own power.
Right.
And it cost him, like I said, it will cost you. Money
Mhm.
pays you to do what people tell you to do.
Right.
When you release the money is when you get your power to say
And,
what you want.
and right. I was gonna say, you actually said the inverse. Once you accept that check, you just give up a little bit of power. Or the perception that you even thought you were getting power by doing the act. But once you accept the money, you become, and I don't want to use that phrase, but you become attached at the hip
You
to
become a slave
whatever
to the
takes you.
money. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I didn't want to say it, but
I know you
you
didn't,
become,
but let's
yeah,
tell the truth. Let's tell
it's
the
true.
truth.
Yeah,
Shame the devil.
yeah.
There's a price, you know, because money comes with a contract, verbally or
It does.
unverbally.
Mhm.
Money comes with a contract. So nobody pays you just for the sake of paying you. They pay you
Mhm.
to do something on their behalf. If
Exactly.
it's acting, if it's singing, if it's whatever. You
Yeah.
know, we talked about the conservatorships that so many of these young artists went through. They have the money, right? They have all of this money. They're out there creating fame for themselves.
Hmm.
But because they have the money now and people are fearful of them losing the money,
They
they
have to
take
control
their
them.
power
They have
away.
to control them. You know what? We are going to elaborate more on the conservatorships. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back because that's such a heavy topic. We want to make sure we delve into it real good. So we'll come right back. Welcome back, Fem Talk family. And that was just an ad from our missing sister. We miss you. We hope you're feeling good. She's in the audience, so shout out to her and give her your well wishes so she'll feel better and be back next week with us. You also saw the Ask Fem Talk sign, and we would love to answer a live question from you because after we talk about money and power, we're gonna go back to those Ask Fem Talk questions. Hopefully, we can get some for tonight that you guys are asking right now. But before the break, we talked about conservatorships and how that gives the illusion of power with money. So you already achieved the money. You have gobs of it. The sad part is nobody or somebody specifically believes that you are unable to maintain it or to mentally know what to do and when to do it with it.
Right. I'll read our wonderful producer gave us a definition of the conservatorship.
Yeah.
And it says a conservatorship is a way for someone to assume legal guardianship over an adult. So this is not children. Children are, under the guardianship of their parents or guardian. But these are adults that a judge has determined based on information presented in a court of law that the person has been deemed unfit to take care of themselves, and now someone is put over their actions and the use of their money. So it is a very strong level of control. And we know that actors, actresses, or people such as Britney Spears, Amanda Bynes, and even Joni Mitchell recently, they were all in, some of them still are, some not, in a conservatorship. Right. So, and again, I think it depends. And Britney Spears recently came out with, I guess her response is finally ended, the one that her father had over her. And it was finally ended. It was a big movement on her fans, Free Britney, that went, and she finally got out of it. But we still see her on social media
looking like she's spiraling. And I think that's the fearful part of ending them. I mean, we could talk about the pros and cons all day, and that's our co-host, Coach Tracy. That's what she does. She'll play the devil's advocate and pull out that other side. But we really don't know if ending them, or let's go both ways. We really don't know if starting them, establishing them, or even getting someone out of them is going to help that person.
Yeah.
Granted, she should, if she's mentally capable, she should be able to handle her own money. Maybe portions of the conservatorship should say, this is how you're going to be able to make your own decision. You have to have assistance. You have to have some kind. You have to visit a social. I don't want to say social worker, a psychiatrist, or some kind of some mentorship. Get some kind of someone to help you handle it. I can't think of the word right now, but if you look at that situation, she had all the support, all of the fans, some parts of her family. Her sister tried very hard to get her out of it. She gets out of it, but from our viewpoint, it looks like, is she able to make the best decision for herself when these activities are going on, when she's behaving this way? So
and that's the thing, because, and we've seen this time and time again, because so many people now she's vulnerable to that money hungry suitor who may come along now, marry her, wine and dine her, and now he has the money, takes it and runs with the money. We've seen it happen before. We've seen artists talk about it all the time, where they lose their money in a relationship. And they're not under conservatorship. So this is what they were trying to prevent. But obviously, sometimes the powers that be talking about power, right? And the
Mhm.
people with power, they create a situation where now they've gone a little bit to the left with their power.
Right.
That's the problem with power. People don't always know how to manage their own power, and they don't manage it to the point where now, the efforts to get her out now is still having her in a level of danger. They talk about Amanda Bynes. Oh, I loved her. I love watching her when she was, back in the day. My kids loved her shows. I loved her movies she came out with. She had some of my favorite movies still. And it's sad to see her, spiral and really just deal with a mental illness. And they talked about her mental illness, and that's real. And I think again, hers is to protect her. And I think that's the issue that you have to look at these conservatorships with.
Exactly.
Is it really in a position to help the person? They talk
Mhm.
about Joni Mitchell, but Joni Mitchell, they even told her story at the Grammys that she had a stroke, that she
Right.
couldn't walk, she couldn't talk. So her best friend went and got a conservatorship, obviously, to make sure nobody came along and took her money from her. Because
Exactly.
people, I mean, things happen. There's so many scam artists out here. You
Right.
sometimes the people are looking to take money away from you.
And
We've heard those stories where um, good friends and family members, and they come in. Who hasn't had a family member come and ask them for money and go, "Are you serious? Like, who got my money?"
exactly. Exactly.
So, especially if they know you have money. So I think the efforts that people make with these conservatorships are,
Mhm.
at least initially, and even while they're in it, it's still for the best interest of the person.
Right.
But I think sometimes people,
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, it's most of the time, and I don't know all of the outcomes, but they start out with the best of intentions. I want to
yes,
make sure you're safe. Hopefully, you're hoping. Listen, we've seen some ones go astray. So, but you're
right,
hoping that my your best interest is my interest, or my
yes,
best interest is yours. So we'll start off with what works for you at the moment. But that is the illusion of the power.
mm-hmm.
Now I have power regardless of,
The
because we talked
illusion,
about
and
two
now
weeks
they take,
ago, doesn't matter how much, how big, how small, you have this small amount of power over this one person, or large amount of money of power over this one person. And now you feel some kind of um, bravado, and you want to flex your muscle in ways that is no longer in the best interest of that person. It is
right,
more to your own benefit.
to your own
So
benefit. And
they
that was the
turn it
sad things, because
oh yeah,
they started using her money.
exactly.
The amount of money they took in this process of her conservatorship was ridiculous. Millions of dollars they spent on themselves doing things that had nothing to do with what she wanted.
With
You know what
her
I'm saying? So again,
livelihood.
it's just the abuse. Unfortunately, power. Power unchecked will becomes dangerous. Power
Absolutely.
unchecked. Um,
Absolutely.
and it's
You know,
sad, because
it
it's just
is.
sad. It's
And
just
we
sad. Greed, yes, greed. It's just sad that
absolutely,
they do
that's it.
these things. Mhm.
You go into it one way, you come out with it another. And like you said, it's the illusion. It's the illusion of power. And there may be, hey mom, there may be other thoughts on that particular scenario, but it isn't, to me, it's an illusion.
Mhm.
You have a small amount of power over one person,
And
and
you take
most times
advantage
you
of it.
are right.
You go this
Um
way.
one of the
They
other
we also
areas,
talked, huh?
I was gonna say, one of where we were talking about one of the other areas about money doesn't give you power. This person is heavily in the news right now with all that he's got going on. But one of the things he recently did was sell all of the masters back to anybody who parted from Bad Boy with an NDA. You can have your masters back, but you better keep your mouth closed. That this is how.
Non-disclosure NDA. For those that don't know, NDA
Oh,
is a non-disclosure agreement, meaning
right.
when you're in the presence of this person, whatever you hear or they say cannot be held against him. You'll be liable to
Exactly.
pay back whatever that agreement said,
Or
and you'll
give
be
back.
banned.
That's
Yep,
right.
give back, and you'll be banned from being in their presence
Exactly.
forevermore. So those NDAs, and a lot of artists, they're known to sign them. I remember, I think it was, oh my God, I want to say Rudy from, not Rudy, Tootie. Is it Tootie? Not Tootie. Raven Simone
Oh
from the
yeah.
Cosby.
Yes. Yes.
Anybody in her presence had to sign an NDA.
Yeah.
Her friends, everybody. Beyonce does the same thing. Anybody in her
Mhm.
presence, if you want to be in her presence, you must sign an
Mhm.
NDA. So some people are very serious, but I think this one with Diddy is, here's where the money, here's where the power came.
I was gonna say the illusion. The
Own,
illusion
right, he
of power.
owned these masters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he limited the money these people could get, period. All these
Mm-hmm.
masters he owned, but Diddy was known for that.
Exactly.
It was all his. He would, remember that show he used to produce and put out all of those artists. Well, any of that music they sung, that was his music. And that's how, and he held the money and the power over them.
Exactly.
And what started happening is some of those people say, you know what? I'm gonna break that little MDA because it's
Mm.
not worth it anymore. And I'm gonna go tell this story.
Well, honestly, I think that was his plan the whole time. Because just thinking about some of the things he's doing and how calculated he was with what he was doing and protecting it and hiding it. I'm going to hold on to these. Yes, it's going to get me money. Yes, it's going to be two forms of income from me. I make the music because I'm the producer,
Yeah.
and I have the masters, and I decide what you can and
I
cannot
have
do.
the power.
But where's that other part, the greed that somebody put into the chat? The greed part that says, I'm going to need these in the
One day.
future because I'm going to need to negotiate something that's going to help me yet again. A
What
third
people
way.
don't understand, right? What people don't understand, none of these MDAs overrides criminal activity. Meaning, you're not exempt from nobody telling your criminality, and no,
Right.
regardless of your NDA, if there's a criminal act, you and it's told, your MDA
Mhm.
is null and void, baby.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that is what started now because he wasn't always doing the right thing. So now
Exactly.
these NDAs, he said, okay. So because what he did was now transferred money over to them or the masters, so that now they can make their own money.
Mhm.
So he bought them out.
Mhm. Mhm.
Remember the power. So he
And
tried to
making
get
the
the power
decision.
back.
That's the point
You
of
know,
decision. Do I
come on.
want
So when you took the
the
money
money?
and
That's right.
signed it, okay, so I'm giving you the masters, but you got to sign this again,
Right.
and you can't talk.
Because that means I still what? I still
Have
have
the
you.
power. The
I still
puppet
got
master
you.
has the power.
That's it. So I'll give up a little bit of this power because in the end, I'm going to have more. The power to protect me yet again, to benefit me yet again.
Be careful what
Another
you
large artist.
sign for people. Be careful what you get.
Yeah. What you agree to. Be careful what you agree to in all
What you agree
aspects.
to.
Large money, little
In all
money,
aspects.
activities, behavior. Be careful what you agree to.
Come on, Shima, say that again. And
I'm
large or
telling you.
small activities.
We live in
It's not about
exactly. Listen, this life we live is all about choices. It is all about choices. Not one thing you're going to do, have, or be in this world is not based on a choice.
Talk
And
it,
you have to
Chuck.
decide who you are, what you're going to do, or what you're not going to do at the point of the choice. Because once you decide, you got to live
sure.
whatever that choice is. Big, small, money, no money, whatever. We were going to talk about Taylor Swift, but we got off a tangent. Got excited.
Taylor Swift. I mean, and you know, and you appreciate what she's doing now. You know, she
Right.
again,
Take
she
control. She's taking her own power.
she's taking it back. She's taking her own power back. She didn't get none of these, you know, she didn't get nearly the money she should have gotten from all these songs she wrote, all these songs, you know, because again, the producers owned it. The producers own it. So now she bought back her masters, and
Mm-hmm.
she is publishing or re-releasing her albums. In order for now, it comes under her. Now she gets them all back because they own
Yes.
she owns it. And I think that's the thing. You know, sometimes people are looking for that quick, you know, contract so they could become famous. There's a cost to everything. Know the cost before you sign. Know the
Yeah.
cost before you do it.
They
And it
want to
happens
get
at
on. They
small
want
and
to
big
get on.
levels.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
all those people on
They
American
do. I
Idol,
mean,
they signed an
listen.
agreement.
Exactly. The
They
carrots
kind
look wonderful when they're dangling. It looks wonderful. The money looks, the glam, the fame, the fame. It all looks wonderful. It does. It comes with a price. But what I love about Taylor and the closeout of what she did, she tapped into her own power. So I can't, not that she didn't have the money. Maybe she felt like spending this type of money to fight you, because you probably they may have way more than her, to fight you to get something back. I wrote those songs. I'll write them again. I'll rewrite them and make them mine, and I'll have the masters. So where I had to do something early on, my choice is different this time, and it benefits me.
Yeah. So she
So
learned, and kudos for her. I call that flip the script.
That's
She
right.
flipped the script and she
Played the
got that.
game. She played their game the right
Played
way.
that game for sure.
Yeah. Yes.
So I think we're gonna go back to Ask Fem Talk. I think we got a question, Shima.
Yes. Oh, something came up. Okay, people. I like how y'all in there talking to us. You know we like this. Let's read this question. My mom and stepdad are divorced.
Okay.
Am I overstepping boundaries by buying large splittable items for my siblings to avoid the arguments, like cell phones, computers, driving lessons, etc.? Miss Dr. Mimi, I'm gonna let you start because you have children. You have been a child. How you feel
Been
about
a
that?
child of divorced parents.
That's right.
I love that sibling. You know, help your sisters. You know, it's
Right.
it's a bad situation. It's a bad. You know, kids don't understand divorce. You know, and I'm not talking about the divorce that you see on TV with, you know, my girl, and they have what they call their frenemies, or I forget what they call them. They co-parenting. They have all these little things. You know, that's nice. That's nice, but that's not the typical divorce.
Yes.
And a lot of times kids are caught in the middle. And God bless this sister who feels obligated to just be a blessing to her siblings. Um, should you do it? No, you don't have to do this. But I wouldn't stop. I wouldn't give him everything, but when you know there's a need, and your parents aren't meeting the need, I think it's the love you have for your siblings is beautiful, and I think that's what you do. You know, it reminds me of Lamont and his sister Shirley. You know, mom couldn't get Lamont everything, but he had his sister Shirley, and Shirley got what you want, Lamont. Lamont never went without anything, because if it wasn't Shirley, it was one of his siblings took care of him, got him what he needed, made sure he got into college, all of that kind of stuff. They helped mom out, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because mom couldn't pull it all together, after dad left. So I think that's what siblings do. And God bless you that you're willing to, go out there and reach out and help your siblings. Again, I wouldn't spoil them. I wouldn't get them everything, they don't have to have everything, but when you know there's a need and you can step in and it's not going to hurt you too bad, go ahead and do it. Because they'll never forget you. They'll never forget you. They'll never forget that you took care of them. They'll always know you as that loving sister that took care of them. And they never forget to this day. Lamont's birthday was the other day, and He was like, and I just love my sister Shirley, and they're we all old now, but that's still his
That's still a
big
baby
sister,
brother.
right? And I think that's just a beautiful relationship because
Yeah.
she just took care of him. It was
Yeah.
that's what a sibling does. So kudos to you, and God bless you for just being that kind of sister.
Absolutely. I guess I'll focus on both sides of it. If you can do it, and seemingly you can because you are doing it, and it's not hindering your lifestyle, continue. I have to say, in my own family, we don't, and I believe we got a little bit of background about this question, but it may be more siblings than a larger amount of siblings than we're thinking. My own family, it was just me and my sister. But when my mom and my dad separated, my mom always instilled in us that we are all we have. I can remember being in college, not knowing this, but being in college, my mother's working hard. She's trying to send me to school. She sent my sister to school, and my sister is now working. My sister would send me $25 or $50 a week to have in my pocket. My sister provided me with pocket money. So now I'm working, I'm out there, and some things don't go as well as planned. I'm able to do a whole lot of things. My sister don't got to worry about a whole lot of things. But I think that's just because that's what our mom instilled in us, especially after my dad was gone. But I shouldn't say but because it negates what I'm saying. What I will say is it's a teaching moment. I'm going to say teaching. It is a teaching moment. It teaches your siblings that there has to be some kind of camaraderie. You guys have to do this together. It is our job to take care of each other in a sense, and to make and to help mommy where we can. It is a teaching moment that teaches them responsibility and compassion, and it teaches them support. So you as the older sister are having an opportunity to impart knowledge, sprinkle a little cash and some wonderful trinkets and gifts to them, but you are teaching them that this is how you take care of family.
Yeah.
You also have to remember about the boundaries, because if it ever becomes too much, and that means monetarily or mentally, you have to be able to say, I would love to do this for you, but I can't.
That's good.
And you have to teach them how to accept the no. You also have to learn how to give the no.
That's good.
And then there's another teaching moment where it comes, they'll learn how to fend for themselves or get their jobs or pull together or compromise. So I don't think you're overstepping your boundaries, and I don't think you are wrong if you feel like you need to explain that to your parents and request help from them.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. If you don't ask, you don't have the conversation, nobody ever knows.
That's great. I love this Fem Talk.
I know.
I love this Fem. Y'all gotta do more of this.
Yes.
Ask Fem Talk. Yes, send questions and stories and opinions. Email us at femtalktv@gmail.com. Again, email us at femtalktv@gmail.com. We'll take your questions. I'm so happy thank you for those who sent in questions.
TV@gmail.com.
Yes. Keep on doing it. Keep on doing it.
Okay. Yes, we want to answer your questions. We'll go in, read them, bring them on the show, come to the show live, and we will answer them there as well. We have had a great time tonight on the show. We look forward to seeing you next week. We'll be talking about good stuff like we always do. We love you guys. Thank you for watching. See you next week.